Alphabet. The English alphabet comes from, the word alphabet itself is Greek. So alphabet is two different words. You have the word alpha on one hand, and then you have beta on the other hand. So alpha and beta, and together is alphabet, excluding the A on the end, of course. So whenever we're writing or even thinking, of the English vocabulary, each word that we use, each letter obeys a law. What law is that? Law of reading and writing is grammar. The words you use obey a law, grammar. There's a rule that has to be applied to the words you want to say or express or use on your day-to-day. So language is a body of ideas. So if your language is from, your parents teach you English, then that is how you will think. And you can only go as far as you think, and you can only go as much as your mind knows. So if you literally want to make sense, like financial literacy, you have to be equipped with that mentality of knowing how to manage credit, how to manage money, how to manage wealth. For if you can see it in your mind, you yourself can create these things, which is possible. So if you don't know the word grapheme, what is grapheme? Grapheme is like the representation of sounds for each letter. It's kind of like the word at. The word at, you would spell it out like A-T. At. That's called a grapheme. You're writing down the sounds that you hear. And with Arabic, which I like, it's mostly about using different muscles that you wouldn't use so much in English. Like you can be lazy with it. But in Arabic, it kind of comes from the gut. Like you would say alpha, beta. You would say alif, ba, ta, tha, jim, ha, kha, del, thal, ra, zain, sin, shin, sod, dod, tho, za. And then you would have ain, gain, fa, kaf, kaf, lam, mim, noon, ha, wa, ya. And it's also called the abjad because it is mostly consonants used in there, but it does have vowels. The vowels aren't so big as they were in earlier centuries. Now that it's modernized, it's like limiting. It's limiting, which is actually what I thought about English at first. And I'm like, I have so many ideas and everything else, but it doesn't really expressively allow me to do what I want to do with my mind or do what I want to do and create with my world. Because if you think about history, like we have trade routes, we have silk routes, and you hear about all these things about what's being traded along these paths, right? But no one takes too much thought about languages. Like if you take Arabic for example, like certain languages, if not majority, they only make it so far as to what material, what brand you can use it on. Like language is commerce, hence why they say financial literacy, because you'll build financial wealth if you know your mind financial wise and have an analytical mindset to where you can manage numbers and do different things and flip them and create something else. But back to the subject about, language being on those roots. Language is something that is traded. Whenever people had gone to different countries, it's more than basic, not even basic, it's different types of resources that they're going there to get what they want whenever they come to a country, like a conqueror, as far as like, different wars they had of who claimed what land. Property rights, torrents, laws of acts, laws of land, But if you really think about language, like Swahili or Arabic, you would have the Latin alphabet, the Roman, and the modernized version of it. But, there's also different types of calligraphy design or a grapheme. what you would write or stencilize with the words. Like I was saying, certain languages only make it a certain branch. It only makes it so far. And I was saying English is limiting because you can only make it so far as to what you want to accomplish or do. Like it's a mental block kind of. But just like your hemispheres, where it travels down different neurological pathways, the different muscles that you use and activate, kind of like a scepter. You know, when you're receptive to an idea, your mind is able to open up to it. So if you open up your mind to different languages, you can build and allow your mind to build those muscles. Like Kufic is like a type of Arabic script where if you put it on different designs like glassware, ceramic, you know, it may not be used for poetry, music, or in movies of subtitles. It only makes it to certain decorations, furniture, construction. However, you know, it's been modernized to Latin or a modern script of what we use today of English. English is, you know, the major wise of moving stuff company-wise or commerce-wise, business-wise is what I'm trying to say. So it's like a conversion process where they say, hey, this is going to be our national language. Like, even though I know you were speaking this language before, but this right here, you know, you'll be able to do business with us if you speak this language. Or if you add this into your school, into your curriculum, it can be applied. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that way for me. So language does create mobility, and it's more so than memorizing. You gotta allow your body to obey those processes of which you speak. Like it's a part that you have to follow. And with that notion, I would say to this day, I would say that language is very, very important. It's versatile. I think anybody can learn new languages and define new meanings of how they want to see and view the world.